Yeah. How's everybody doing out there? Just getting set up for a little Q&A. Here we go. Yeah. How's everybody doing out there? Let me know if you've got a question about performing live. I'm over here prepping for a gig that I got coming up, and you'll notice that I'm standing up, which is part of the whole thing. I really want to create the same environment and the same setting that I'm going to have when I'm playing live. So I'm doing this live stream standing up because that's how I'm going to be doing the gigs. And I do play quite a bit, but rarely out here in Nashville do I play my own stuff. A lot of times I'm working for other people as a guitar player, but I have my own gigs coming up. I'm going to Norway to do my own thing as a songwriter and putting on my own show. So I'm here to prep for my own gigs. Hit me with a question about what you do or what you're thinking for when you're prepping for a live gig. Or actually just hit me with any guitar question, really. But we're just going to have some fun. We're going to play some guitar, and I'm going to go through some of the solos that I'll be playing and improvising on my gigs. So here we go. So I was soloing right there on the improv. What am I saying? I was soloing on Little Sister, which I chose Little Sister because that's typically a great song for me to just get warmed up and start the set with, because I know it so well and I've been playing it for so long. You know, you want to start with something that is just easy, so you can check your settings, make sure that you're hearing everything okay, make sure you like the tone on your amp. And Little Sister's cool because although it's based on the E blues, it has that B C turnaround instead of this like a typical 5-4 turnaround. And when it would go to the turnaround, I like to access that whole thing by playing off the B and the C chord. So I might do kind of like a double stop thing where I go. It's almost like I stop the single notes and I go to a chord thing for the turnaround, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you could do this too, where you kind of are projecting yourself into the future of maybe playing a chord or accessing something the song does when you're soloing. So I might just riff around and have fun with my single note stuff, maybe E minor pentatonic, or just thinking about the E chord usually. And then when that turnaround comes, I'll access the chords. I'll show you what I mean. See, I'm kind of hanging out, making a making like a story. Oh, here's the turnaround. Turnaround. So I have a lot of people telling me like, man, how do I break out of the pentatonics? How do I stop doing just the same old pentatonic stuff? And for one thing, minor pentatonic thing, if it works for Billy Gibbons, you don't need more than a minor pentatonic situation. I mean, you can make a great solo with that one tool. But like Billy Gibbons, you might access what's happening in that minor pentatonic with the chord. So you might think like, oh, which note is going to sound good over the turnaround? You start thinking about the whole form instead of just, I'm going to play a scale over this whole thing and hope it sounds good. Kind of slow it down and think to yourself, I want to make a composition, a solo that kind of like goes somewhere. So that's basically what I'm doing in this little sister guitar solo, because I'm thinking about, okay, on the turnaround, I want to do something crazy. So even if you have just like one badass lick, save that for a crucial moment in the solo. So let's say that you got this lick. It's kind of a Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix kind of sound. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to know that I'm going to do that on the turnaround. Here it is. Like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to save that for the end of my solo so I know where I'm going. And then maybe modify it. Or as you keep playing the song time after time, you're like, okay, well, this time I'm going to add this note to the end. So you kind of just start mapping out what you want to do. And I guess I'll sum it all up by saying you're zooming out. You're not just thinking, oh, what do I play? Do I play the same old pentatonic thing? Or now you're thinking like, okay, in this solo, even though I only have that one tool, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to think more about the dynamics of it or the drama of it. I say that a lot. Basically, telling a story is what I'm getting at. So let me know what you think of that. Try it on your next solo. I'm going to look at some of these comments and see if we got some questions here. Okay, so Russ over here on YouTube, he says that he's playing a Telecaster with somebody who's going to be strumming on an acoustic. That already sounds like a good situation. And he's planning on playing some triads up the neck. Russ, it sounds like you know what's going on, man. That's a great option. So, let's say, for instance, somebody's playing some chords. Let's say, I'm going to tune this for y'all. I want it to be right, so I'll tune it for you guys. So somebody's playing kind of strummy acoustic chords, and you're playing electric guitar with that. It's so funny how little you can do and sound good in that situation. What I mean is, just letting a little triad ring will sound great, because if somebody's singing, you don't want to be playing on top of that. So here's an example. Like, let's say said CCR and Allman Brothers. So what if it's like what's that? How's it go? Bad Moon Rising. Let's say we're playing Bad Moon Rising, okay? 2, 3, 4. Sorry, friends, my looper is rebelling against me. Let's try that again. So I'm going to loop the chords as though it was the acoustic guitar player or the rhythm guy. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so the acoustic guy is doing his thing. I can play less by playing triads. So I'm playing a little D triad here, an A triad, and a G triad. So it gives me just a nice texture, and I'm not doubling the same rhythm part. Instead, it's almost like I'm just filling it in and making this really cool, I don't know what the word is. It's an arrangement. So you have this like nice sustaining electric guitar. And of course, while the singer's singing, you could add a little lick if you wanted to. So if I'm going, that's a lot less you're doing than actually strumming the chord. So good work on that, Russ. Let me show you those triads one more time. Just so I got D here, A, and G. I could also do it here, D, A, and G, just using the triads. Very cool. It's funny how if you just do something simple like that, a lot of times people think, man, you invented the guitar. That was such a great idea. It's like, well, I did less, guys. I actually just did less. So great question and comment there, Russ. Let's check over here on TikTok. What do we got? Let's see some of these guys. Maybe. Can I get your opinion on, okay, so Impala67, you want to know some opinion on your song? Sure, man. Send me a message with your song. Send me the video. I'll let you know what I think. As a new guitar player, what should I focus on to learn to play the blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan style? Oh, man. As a new guitar player, what should I focus on to play the blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan style? Okay, this is a great question. We could talk about this for hours. The first thing I would talk about is listening to the people that Stevie Ray Vaughan likes. So think to yourself, look it up. Like, who are his influences? It's pretty commonly known that he loved Albert King and Jimi Hendrix. So you listen to those guys. Very cool. That's just getting that language. Each musician, each band is its own culture, really. If you think of it like that, you'll always be able to find something new about each musician that you like. So listen to Jimi Hendrix, listen to Albert King, and then start looking at certain phrases that Stevie Ray Vaughan would play. So you could learn just one at a time, little phrase of what Stevie Ray Vaughan would do. There's this thing that people talk about where like, oh, he plays just like so-and-so. He impersonates so-and-so. People would say that about Stevie Ray Vaughan. They would be like, oh, he's just copying Albert King. But the reality of it is, if you want to learn the language, you do need to emulate somebody. But no matter what you do, it's still going to sound like you. So if you can immerse yourself and just learn to play as close to Stevie as you could, as you possibly could, or you learn to play as close to Albert King as possible, it's still going to sound like you. And that's okay to sound similar to your favorite artists. Don't listen to the haters, but also don't play exactly like them. Learn it and then do your own thing with it. I mean, there's still a BB King solo that I try to make it, I work on it so it sounds like no one's playing the guitar. So I try to play along. Can I play something that sounds like BB King? Yes. But there's something in this solo that really moves me. And so if I could get that under my fingers to where it sounds as close as possible to BB King, it's still going to sound like me. When I go to play anything else, I'm going to be able to call on that soulful BB King moment in my own solos. So I guess, Randall, you want to play Stevie Ray stuff? Slowly start learning his phrases, what he would do, and get it as close to as close to him as possible. And then when it's time to play, you just be you, man. It'll come out. It's not going to ever sound exactly like him, and that's a good thing. But you can learn something new, and you can get some of that feeling in your own playing. So great question, man. Great question. This guitar doesn't want to stay in tune. I'm probably overdue for some string change here. String change. Tune it up here. See if we got any more questions or comments. Thank you for that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tune it, and then I'm going to play another song that I got for my gig coming up. It's a little bit of a challenge because it changes tempos in the solo. So I like to play this song, You're the Devil in Disguise by Elvis Presley. Love to do it. And although in the recording there's no solo, I like to solo on both sections. So we're gonna give it a go here. Okay, so it's so the song is You look like an angel. Does this kind of Roomba thing, and then it switches to like a 2-beat thing, so it switches in the solo. I'm gonna do my best to loop all those chords. Here, I'll pull this down so you can see what I'm doing. 2, 3, 4. Changes time values too. So not only does it change time signatures and feels, but the chords, it basically follows the whole song where it changes like length of chords too. So it's a pretty, I would say it's a pretty challenging thing to solo on. So let's give it a try. I'm in F. A lot of D minors in there. Talk about the relative minor. We talk about that a lot. It was weird to have my head cut off there. Okay. So I got a B flat and a C. So this thing is staying totally in the key of F. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But I really want to access what the chords are doing, because otherwise it's just going to sound like I'm playing this, like practicing over the whole thing. So let's give it a bash. We might have to do a couple takes of this one. 2, 3. break in there, and I know this is going back to that thing I was talking about before about looking ahead. There's a break, so I want to make sure that I play something really cool during the break. Also, it's pretty fast, so I'm going to be able to get away with kind of hanging out or playing a repeating lick like this one I was playing. If you're hip to the major pentatonic thing, I'm going to go. Let's try it. I'm going to stay on the treble pickup too. Get some twang, baby. 1, 2, 3. D minor. Oh, B flat. Oh, I don't like it. So I keep thinking I'm starting on the fast part, but it's actually the rumba. So I'm going to play something pretty, and then I'm going to play something wild and fast. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't like it. All right. So I'm making the biggest mistake when it comes to soloing there is, and that's thinking too much about it. I was thinking too much, trying to demonstrate to you guys where I was going. And really what I need to do is practice this a bunch, standing up through my amp and just letting go and playing something that I'm hearing or feeling, even if it's something ridiculously simple. So now I'm going to try it again, but I'm just going to I'm going to forget y'all are there, and I'm just going to focus on what I want to hear with my guitar. Let's do one more. Oh, baby. You know what's really coming in handy is I have preloaded these kind of fast licks. So this one comes in real handy, like when it does the break. Also, this one that I do a lot. So I gotta, if I have a major chord here, this is coming real handy because I kind of can just hang out on the chord here. So here's B flat and C. They're relatively simple. It's like playing a chord, but you can fill in a lot of space because I'm using my right hand. Preloaded, thinking about the chords. Let's do one more. What do we say here? This time I'm going to try to do more like an R&B approach. So before I was kind of thinking country. Playing with the rhythm. Getting that percussive thing. I'm going to see if I could do more of like a soul approach. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm getting it. One more time. Oh man. All right. I think I'm thinking too much. And I want to try this other guitar because I'm probably going to play both of these guitars on the gig. So I need to make sure I'm getting some practice playing both of them while standing up. Let's see here. Let's check out if we've got any more comments or questions. We'll go TikTok first. Love that twang. Thank you. Thank you, Randall. Very cool. Kelly, thanks. Yeah, it's a good guitar. Let's see. Russ is still checking in. Thanks for the answers to one question. What about the right hand? Sounds like I can just play sustaining triads with occasional quick lick. Yes, Russ. Just play those triads with the occasional quick lick. Once again, you guys, there's no reason that if somebody else is strumming big chords that you should do the same thing. If they're already holding it down, you can play little chords, little accents. Your job is easier in some ways. Other ways, you got to be more tasteful. But all right, playing the Strat, because this is I built this Strat out of pieces in 2007. And this is the guitar that turned me into a Strat guy, I guess. I really love Telecasters. That's been my lifelong obsession, is playing Telecaster style. But after I built this Strat, I just started playing it a lot. So this thing has probably had 2,000 gigs. I mean, when I was touring all over the Southwest, playing like 200 gigs a year, this is the guitar I brought. Mostly because my other guitar player was playing a Tele, and I didn't want to have two Teles. I wanted different sounds, and it really changed the way I played getting into the Strat thing. Anyway, yeah, Kelly, I'm with you. All right, let's look at another song that I'm gonna do, prepping for my own live gig. Let's see here. Okay, so I have my own song called Mistreat Me Right. It's got this riff. Drop D. I'm gonna... This one's cool because it just... At the end, we solo and we just hang out on one chord. So I'm just gonna loop that, talk about it a little bit. 2, 3, 4. All right, so it's one chord. How are you gonna make something interesting? It is blues music, so it's more about what the phrases say, you know? You guys, the biggest thing that I notice about playing blues music versus country or rock in any is that whatever you say, you really want it to be stated. And because blues music is rhythm music, you got to play with the rhythm of what's happening. So I'm noticing that although you play maybe less notes and you add vibrato and stuff, you got to think about what you play in blues music needs to have this like really stated, I mean what I'm saying. I might only play 4 notes, but they're going to be the right notes and I'm going to mean it. Almost like, if you were like going to testify at church or something like that. Like, you think of like an old school gospel church. If you're going to say something on the mic, you got to mean it. You got to believe what you're saying. And I think that's probably the hardest thing for people to wrap their head around when they're playing blues music. So I'm going to, even if I'm playing something simple, you got to really mean that, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Let's try it again. Leave space for the groove. I'm not worried about that one because as long as the drums and bass are going good, I'm going to be able to just relax into it. It's probably the hardest thing for people to do when playing like slow tunes, soul tunes, blues, is just to relax and not feel like they have to be always doing something. I remember one time I was on a gig and somebody didn't know the song. I was like, just hold the strings, play percussion. They got so offended. Like I was telling them to do something basic and stupid. And I was like, sometimes the most simple percussive thing is the right thing. If everyone else is already playing, what if you didn't play at all? You didn't have anything to add, so you just let the song happen. Now that's confidence, where you're like, you know what? I don't have anything to add. This sounds good. I'll hang out. I'll hang out, and then maybe at the end, sing along or clap along. That's super confidence right there. All right, we got some questions here. When I was younger, I can't. This is hard to read here. When I was a younger drummer, I played with lots of blues guitarists, and I think that's why I keyed on the guitarist instead of the bass player. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Feelings and attitude. Couldn't agree more. Blues music, feelings and attitude. Yeah, very nice. Let's talk about... okay. So one of the songs I do is Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly. But I do it in more of a Bo Diddley style. And I actually sing some Bo Diddley in the middle of the tune. So even this is another one chord situation. Looping. One chord. How do you make something interesting with just one chord? Remember, it's about the rhythm. This type of music is about rhythm. There's the attitude that you mentioned. playing too much. I think it's better to let the groove do its thing, and then you just add some real like confident. What's the word? Attitude. Add that attitude, like Randall said. But I did see that I was missing a crucial ingredient to playing the song, which is my favorite pedal that I own. Tremolo, baby. I got the Voodoo Labs Tremolo, and I've had this thing since I was in Devil Doll in like 07, 08. It's never broke down, and it always sounds great. Tremolo. Oh, no, it's too good. Let's do another solo. Oh, I got a lick. I want to try. Okay, here you go. Oh, that's a hard one to get in it. All right, so what I'm doing is playing the tremolo on the 4th string, and then with my top fingers, I'm adding notes. So by itself, it's kind of wacky. But if I can add it to the end of my solo, it'll sound super tough. Tough as in like, yeah, it's gonna be super tough. Let's try it. Super fun. Of course, whenever I get on stage, I get a lot more wild and carefree. I just go nuts. I used to play with my teeth. I used to go into the crowd and go behind the bar and like pour a shot while I was playing, you know. Stand on the bar and all that stuff. I rarely do that anymore, but something about that, like everybody's looking at you. I would just get wild and weird. So I don't know if that lick's gonna come out on the gig. I'm not gonna prep for it. We'll see. That gig actually might work better on more like a rockabilly tune. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Very, very cool. Randall says, being from Texas, I want to fuse blues and classic country together. You, me, and the rest of the cool people, brother. I mean, like, that's what it's all about, right? Why can't you have Stevie Ray and Waylon on the same set list? Freddie King, Texas bluesman extraordinaire. I actually want to do this Hollywood Fats version of Rock This House. It's a fast jump blues type thing. One of my close friends and incredible guitar player is Tommy Harkenreiter. Whenever we go to play this live when I'm in California, he's an incredible guitar player. And he's like a swing blues, jump blues freaking master. But when I'm like, hey, let's play Rock This House. And then I go, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? Meaning this intro, which even if you know it on the spot, it's a little wacky. So I'm gonna do it for my own show right now. But the intro to Hollywood Fats Rock This House. Missed it. Overplayed it. Got too nervous. 1, 2. I want 2, 3. Missed it. Thinking too much. I think I'm gonna loop the bass line first. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ready, go. Okay, let's see if I can play it with the. Got my looper too far away. Hold on. I'm having to jump over here to grab it. Here we go. Overplaying it. Thinking about it too much. Here we go. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Close enough. I think that maybe explaining it makes it worse. You know what I mean? Like if you're messing up, you'd be like, "Shut up, brain! Just freaking go for it, dude!" Like talking about it, I think makes it worse sometimes. Like, who cares if I ghosted a few? Let's just go balls to the wall. So now I'm gonna solo on it. I messed up the intro enough times. I'm gonna solo on it and just see if I can get in the groove and relax a little bit while I'm soloing on this cool ass tune. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I don't think I'm playing as well as I want to be playing, but doing it for you guys here is really kicking the rust off and getting me so I get this like real degaff, I don't care vibe. And that's when it really starts to come out. If you really want to get the swing thing happening for the right hand, you get the metronome and you put it on 2 and 4 slowly. Don't be trying to play Mach 10 like I was just playing. And you hear me say this all the time. Blues music is rhythm music. It's all about the rhythm. So if you want to play something that swings, you got to think like a drummer. Yeah, there's a bunch of jazzy notes and stuff like that. and you want to be super funny with your phrases or like witty, where you're dancing around. But that's only going to happen if you can really lock in with the rhythm and feel what's happening rhythmically. Even those chord phrases, they only happen because of the rhythm. A lot of people can't play that style because they don't want to slow it down and work on making their right hand dance with the swing rhythm. So I highly suggest, if you like that type of music, slowly right hand rhythm, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Very cool. Very cool. Do we got any more comments, questions? Sophie got a question. I was playing a guitar at a shop today. Only used to play acoustic, and it sounded out of tune. Sophie, was this an electric guitar you were playing? Tell me about this guitar experience. Why did it sound out of tune? Did it just need to be tuned up, or are you used to playing acoustic and the electric sounded out of tune? That's what it sounds like to me. A lot of times people, they play a lot of acoustic guitar, the strings are heavier, and a lot of time the action is higher. So you have to really push down really hard on an acoustic guitar to get it, to ring out. People that do that a lot, and then they start to play the electric guitar, the strings are lighter usually. And if you push too hard on the electric guitar, a lot of times you're going to pull everything out of tune. So I don't know if it's the case with this guitar because the frets are pretty worn out, but if you're used to grabbing on these strings and they're lighter, it's possible that you could be pulling them out of tune because you're pushing too hard. See, this looks like a good G chord, but because I'm pushing so hard, it's pulling the notes out of tune. So listen to the difference. Here's it. Okay, I'm gonna push too hard. Slightly pull things out of tune. Because the strings are lighter, they're gonna travel further to get out of tune. And it's really a significant difference when you're switching from an acoustic guitar to an electric guitar. You got to play a lot lighter, especially with the right hand. I'm always talking about the right hand. I'm always talking about the rhythm, because that's really going to be your foundation for success, is making sure that you're not playing too hard, overplaying. Every time I messed up on that Rock This House intro was because I was trying to play too freaking hard. See, I did it super light right there, and it came out perfect. Pretty great lick. Great little diminished run. Oh, you guys like my shirt? Someone's mentioning my shirt. I forgot I was wearing it. I love this. I love dogs, and I love this shirt. It's super funny. It's for my dog people out there. Actually, I should practice my dog song too. We're gonna solo on my song called "Throw Me a Bone" in our last few minutes here. This one is outside of the blues realm, outside of the rockabilly realm. So this is more of just like a straight up major sound. Maybe even a country vibe. So the chorus chords go, throw me a bone. Whoa. Looper rebellion. Hold on 1 second. 2. Throw me a bone. A little scrap of love goes to the 6 minor. I'm just an old dog doing what a dog does. It's cold out here on my own. How and I'm on. Throw me a bone. So this song 100% stays in the key of G. It's like a country road, take me home. Similar chords. And on the recording, I have my buddies playing harmonica on it. But for the gig, I'm going to play. So let's have a little solo on that. Anybody want to chime in on, well, I just said it's in G, but what kind of tools, what kind of approach you could have to play this distinctively not blues song. Doesn't mean a blues man can't play it. Chime in. What would you do on this song that's distinctly different tone-wise, sound-wise? 1, 2, 1, 2. One thing I love about playing in the key of G is, for one, the guitar is basically a G machine. You have an open G chord here, but the third string lends itself to a lot of... It sounds crazy, but I'm really just playing a note on the third string and then doing a pull-off. Maybe I'll replay it so I got a triplet. G major scale in the context of the solo right at the end. It sounds crazy, but it's really quite easy once you get your two hands coordinated with the G major scale. I'll show you again. I'll do it ridiculously. I'll try to do it like so crazy style at the end. This is only reverb and it's going to sound crazy. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's try it right here. One more. So it's like a willingness to just go for it. G major scale on the one string. Guitar is a G machine. It's a gangsta machine. No, it's a G machine. Yeah. Nice. Throw me a bone for my dog lovers, and apparently my shirt too, because I forgot that I was wearing this. Very cool, guys. Should we do one more before we call it a day? Hit me with that last question or comment. I want to try to get to it before I go. What are we going to play? One more song. Oh, yeah, good question. So, when I really started to get into the electric guitar, I noticed that a lot of the players that I liked would use pick and finger, including Jimi Hendrix. So, Jimi Hendrix would play this lick. Instead of playing it with a pick, he would play it with his pick and the fingers. Turn it up. If you use the pick and the fingers, it has definitely like a sweeter sound, more of a soul sound. If you play it with the pick, it's going to sound a little more rock. I don't know if you guys can hear that. On a telly, you could definitely hear it. Anyway, so I started doing the pick and finger thing, and there's exercises you could do. I think I have some of them on my YouTube channel, where you take a triplet apart with your pick and finger. You get the pick and finger going. But then, of course, you know I love Brian Setzer. I have videos about him on my channel. I noticed that he would be playing then he would hide the pick. He would hide the pick and then just start playing with finger picking. And then, of course, sometimes it's easier to do that with the pick and fingers. When you do it with the pick and fingers, it really makes the bass note come out. So, like, maybe if I was doing like that would be much easier with a thumb pick, you know, Chet Atkins style. But if I wanted the bass note to come out, I would suffer and do it with suffer meaning just have less mobility because I'm using pick and fingers for this like finger style. Just not as good at it with that. If I was going to play some of that Chet Atkins stuff, I would definitely get the thumb pick going. And I guess I could do it without the pick as well, which is what we're talking about. Hide the pick and still. Yeah, I'd probably just do it without a pick. If I was on an acoustic guitar, I would definitely need a thumb pick because the bass line just would not come out. But since I'm amplified, it comes out no problem. All right, last song. Let's do let's do like a fast country one. Oh, my song, Little Tattoo. The solo goes like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the song is in E. The solo goes to the 4. So it's a short solo, but you got to be ready for it. So let's do it a few more times. So the riff. Here comes the solo. 2, 3. Oh man. Okay. That's fast. But like I was saying at the beginning, got to preload these fast ones for when you need them. Not every solo needs to be this spontaneous composition. In fact, most spontaneous compositions have a lot of pieces that have been worked out way beforehand. So, one more time on Little Tattoo solo. Perfectly out of tune for that vintage flavor. Let's use some chords. Do it with some chords, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Like Looney Tunes are like Looney Tunes or something. Ren and Stimpy. I want to do it again. That was cool. I do like the fast chicken picking thing that I was doing, but let's just mess around with these chords for a second. 1, 2, 3, A. It almost sounds like a pedal steel. do you think? We're in the islands. All right. Thanks for watching this live stream, guys. If you don't already, please subscribe or follow. And I'm going to try to do a few of these every month. So keep an eye out. I'll be letting you know. I'll be scheduling it, usually on a Saturday. And keep playing, you guys. I love connecting with you on this guitar stuff. I spent most of my life just trying to get gigs and play my own music, but I'm really having a great time in the last little while playing, just working on guitar stuff with you guys and connecting about people trying to get better and just really enjoy their own playing. So thanks for being a part of this, you guys, and I'll see you on the next live stream or in the next video. See ya.